I made a video last week, talking about how good Chelsea is in terms of scamming people and scamming clubs into signing some of their players for a high amount of money. Liverpool, hey, they're not far from that. They're not far from that because they've done the exact same thing in this transfer window. They've sold Luis Diaz for 80 million. Close to 80 million for Mr. Luis Diaz, who's 28 years old and whose best ever years was before the injury. And now they're about to sell Mr. Darwin Nunez for close to 65 million. The fee agreed is about 53 to 55 plus heavy add-ons, which is close to about 10 to 15 million. So that fee could potentially rise up to close to 65 to 70 million, which for a player like Darwin Nunez, who hasn't really impressed over the past couple of years, hasn't really repaid the fee which Liverpool bought him from Benfica, I can't lie, it's smart business. Smart business. However, it does come with an implication. It does come with a massive implication if Liverpool don't sign the player which they want, which I'll talk about in this video. Before we go any further, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel, and of course, comment your own thoughts. Most specifically, you Liverpool fans, let me know down in the comments how you guys feel about the selling and whether you feel like Darwin Nunez' time is over, which, to be fair, it was coming. It was coming. Listen, I know Liverpool fans are very patient. One thing about Liverpool, which I respect very highly, which a lot of clubs aren't really and truly, specifically my club. My clubs are very... You have to impress, or else Matt Salama is done. Liverpool fans are very patient, and they've stuck with Darwin Nunez. They've stuck with him, even though things wasn't looking positive for him. Well, they signed him for, of course, Benfica, close to about 95 million. There was a lot of hype about him. Of course, he scored in his first ever game in the Community Shield against Hilal, against City, and everyone thought, all right, cool, this is the game which now you guys are about to see Darwin Nunez. And bear in mind, that same season, he finished top 20 in the Ballon d'Or, which is crazy as it seems because he had that very good season with Benfica. But since that, over the past 3 years, he's never, ever repaid the fee. That's never been a consistency. There's always been goals. Not always, sometimes been goals, but there's always been inconsistent. There's always been bad misses, after bad misses, after bad misses. There's been so many bad misses, so many chances that he misses, so many assists that he just wastes, so many. Bro, it's never been positive with Darwin Nunez. And every year, I feel like Liverpool about to sell him. Every year, I feel like Liverpool about to cash in him. I thought it was going to happen last season. I thought last season was going to be the season where, you know what, that's it. We've had enough. But, of course, club leaves, in comes Arsenal. Arsenal never really made any sort of massive changes except for signing Kayser, which wasn't really his signing. But after that, I felt like, all right, cool. The goal that he scored against Newcastle in St. James Park, that game where he turned the game around, I felt like, you know what, that could be the turning point. That could be the turning point for Darwin Nunez. And then, boom, after that, he goes back to what he is. And then there was a game against Bournemouth, which I remember was a Bournemouth, another game where he scores that left foot, that you know, outside the box, that left foot top corner, which I was like, rah, this Dunny scores difficult goals, but the easy chances he just misses. He just misses. But one thing that he had last season, which I'll give him credit for, was his impact off the bench in certain games, specifically the Paris Saint-Germain game, the PSG game, which he came off the bench the first leg. He actually did a very good job on it. The second leg is where this is Darwin Nunez, like hit and miss. You've got the hit in what he did and the miss where at one point, Liverpool fans were saying, start Darwin Nunez against PSG in the second leg. You got your chances. He never did what he had to do. And that's why it's now reached a stage where they had to cash in. But the cash in is a lot. The cash in is massive. The cash in is about close to 65 million, which I never thought they would even get close to that. There's a lot of players here, when they sign for a lot of money and they don't impress, the resale is nowhere near. Like Sancho, they bought him for close to 100 million United. He's not going to be sold anywhere close to 30 or 40 million. Anthony, same thing. A lot of players are like that. With Darwin Nunez, I thought Darwin Nunez would be, Liverpool will find it difficult to sell him for 30 to 40 million. But the fact that they've not managed to, I don't care if it's Saudi Arabia, I don't care if it's China, they still managed to find a club to buy him for that amount. It's massive. I still think Darwin Nunez is a great player. I just think maybe the pressure of playing for Liverpool, the expectations of having to score every game, the fee which they bought him for, he has to repay it. I think that played into his mind. I still think, as crazy as it sounds, I still think he's a great player. I still think there's something in him. And I feel like maybe in a different club, maybe now going to Saudi Arabia, where he's going to be playing for a year, 2 years, and if he impresses massively, then maybe another European club will go after him and maybe sign him. That's what he needs. He needs a complete different environment. He needs a place where he can feel a bit more, I don't know, just a change of circumstances. And maybe Saudi Arabia is that place. Because, hey, it's happened to a lot of players. Mitrovic has happened. He's enjoying himself there. Ivan Toney's enjoying his... Well, maybe it happens to Darwin Nunez. Now, the question is, what next for Liverpool? Because they've now sold Luis Diaz. They've sold, of course, Mr. Darwin Nunez. Which means heading into next season, they have only got Mo Salah, Gakpo, Ikitike, Ben Doak, if you want to consider him as a right winger, as a backup, and of course, the talent man, the sensation, the 16-year-old star boy in Rio. I'm not going to say his surname because the last time I said it, a lot of people said, what? Hey, I'm going to say Rio. Rio, yeah? Rio. Let me know down in the comments how you say his surname, by the way. Rio. But they are only stocked with these kind of players. And if you take away Rio, if you take away Ben Doak, in terms of first team's players, they've only got Gakpo, Mo Salah, and Ikitike. Gakpo, as good as he's done in the preseason, of course, the goals that he's been scoring, and last season, the Euros, if you guys remember what he did in the Euros, I don't think he's going to be the starting left winger for Liverpool. I think he's going to be a player that's going to come off the bench, start a couple games, the cup games X, Y, and Z. Liverpool need a forward. Liverpool need a striker or a left winger, and that is a must, basically, an absolute must. And a centre-back, which we'll come to in another video. But now they need a striker. I feel like Darwin Nunez going, that's going to, of course, help them with a lot of money. They, of course, the second bid for Isaac got rejected. They offered close to 90 million up front, plus add-ons and installments. But, of course, Newcastle rejected the 145 million. I still think Liverpool will come in with one final offer. However, the implication with this deal is also with outside of Liverpool's control. Sesko, United have just now offered on Sesko. Their bid most likely will be accepted because Sesko wants to join United and not Newcastle. Which means if Newcastle loses on Sesko, I don't think they will sell Isaac. Because that means no striker have joined them, and why would they sell their current striker? Which makes me think Liverpool, for heading into next season, will not have Isaac in their team, which means they have to make a decision on who to sign. The reports are saying, of course, Fofana from Lyon, Rodrygo from, of course, Real Madrid. I've seen some Italian reports saying that Liverpool was very impressed with Hilal after what he did to them in the preseason. They need a left winger. They need a striker to come in this summer window. But I feel like Isaac will not join this window. I feel like Isaac most likely will come next summer or maybe in Jan where Liverpool can go all in for him. But this is great for Liverpool. They've sold, they have to cash in Darwin Nunez. They can't just take on Darwin Nunez for one more year and then maybe its resale next season would be way less. This is a great decision to Liverpool, even though it means they've now got one less forward, but you've cashed in on Darwin Nunez for 65 million, close to 70 million, which is a lot of money. Now you've got a decision to make where you have to sign a replacement. And I can't lie. I know I keep saying it, and I will keep saying it. Trust me, I'm trying to help. Liverpool fans, I'm trying to help you. Me and you, we like each other. And trust me, the player that I think you should sign, Rodrygo goes from Real Madrid. Just hear me out. Hear me out. Why do you keep slow? Why are you not taking him? By the way, don't get me wrong. Just because I want to offload him doesn't mean I don't want him. I would love for Rodrygo to stay at Real Madrid. But at the same time, understand he's not going to get the chance at Real Madrid because what? Xabi Alonso doesn't want him. Real Madrid are saying to him, oh, you can stay. But deep down, I know he's not going to start. He's not going to start. And Rodrygo is a player that should be starting week in and week out. And I feel like he needs to feel appreciated. He doesn't feel appreciated at Real Madrid. Doesn't feel respected at Real Madrid. He needs a club where he can feel appreciated, where he can just become the player that I know he can become, which is one of the best players in the world. And Liverpool is the right place for him. The right circumstance, the right environment for him. Liverpool fans, you saw Luis Diaz. You saw Darwin Nunez. You need a South American player. Come on, man. You lost 2 South American players. You need one more. Isaac is not South American, Somalian. He's Somalian. You need a South American player. And Rodrygo is exactly that player. You need Rodrygo. Rodrygo, Ikatike, and Mo Salah for the first year with works behind him. And Ria off the bench. Kagba off the bench. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Come on. But listen, this is my thoughts on Darwin Nunez. Great sell for Liverpool. Massive sell for Liverpool. What they've done to sell him for 65 million is massive to me. Darwin Nunez, my brother, enjoy Saudi Arabia. Enjoy a good time there. Hopefully you can find yourself and then maybe come back to Europe in the next couple of years. But as for Liverpool now, next step is signing a left winger or a striker. They must sign a left winger, sign a centre-back before the end of the transfer window, and preferably before the start of the Premier League game, which is not this weekend, next week. They need a player before Bournemouth. They can play against Palace, it's fine without someone, but they need a left winger or a striker before Bournemouth, specifically also a centre-back, which I'll make another video about, which most likely might be Mark Wee from, of course, Crystal Palace. But Liverpool fans, put down in the comments what you guys feel about the sell. Let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel, and I'll see you soon with another video. Peace.